He is a senior disciple of Jayapataka Maharaj from 1980s.
Old is that?
But he lives in the area, and he had a lot of association of Maharaj in South America and also in Mayapur. And he has some early stories of Maharaj, and he can share some of those. So I will give to him.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm Guru Jatra. That's my, so say, warm place. And that's the place where I met Guru Maharaj the first time. So it was when I was around 24 years old. Yeah. And of course, I was very in Maya, like all the time, you know. And I was walking in the street, in the sidewalk, and then suddenly a doors opened. That was my first contact with the temple. I used to see devotees all around, Harinam, but I always loved to buy patchouli and incense, and I bought some books. I never read it before. They were all in my closet. So, orange, like saffron wave came down that stairs. I was from the second floor. Came down, running, rushing, chanting Hare Krishna with mridangas, huh? And I just stopped. I didn't know what was going on. Then they pushed me with the whole group, and then I ended in a big bus. No, this bus. Later I know he was going to airport. I don't know. They just figured out I was part of the group and they put me inside. No, so I was in the bus. They were chanting Hare Krishna on the way and Guru Maharaj. And after 5 minutes, I learned how to chant Hare Krishna. You know, and I was chanting with them. We got to the airport, and everybody went down, and we followed everybody. The temple president was mad, trying to control everybody. The Mataji running, everybody, you know. Suddenly, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have time to ask, so I asked, and they told me, "Oh, Srila Charapara is coming." We could call him like that. Huh? And then. I have no clue, you know. So it was hundreds of devotees at the time there. Then they were waiting and chanting. Then the kirtan started getting very intense. And everybody in the airport, what we call, how say, the people, you know, the police and everybody were very happy too, you know. Wow. Like a rock and roll star getting into the airport, and then Guru Maharaj show up, you know? And everybody ran, and even the customers and everybody in the airport. You know? So then he went to another car, and we went to the temple. And I just saw him for a second, you know? But that second pulled me in and never let me go, you know. So since that day, I became part of the Prabhupada family. And there was different encounters. I get to meet Maharaj pretty close, and it was amazing because at that time he would go for a week or 2 weeks to Lima, and we can have that kind of mercy, you know. So yeah, I spent good time and from very far, you know, when you are a new devotee, a new bhakta, or people who approach the temple, Guru Maharaj, Krishna, they always give you more mercy, you know. So I was lucky enough to get all the mercy, like they throw a cookie, I catch a cookie, and that kind of things, you know. I always feel that blessing from Guru Maharaj, you know. So I just remember the next time he came, that was in October, and then he came back in January. And I was ready shaved and waiting for initiation. And at that time it was you didn't need to know much or wait so much. It was mercy, yeah? So I got His mercy. Since then I'm, always there for at His lotus feet and, try to serve and do whatever I can to be just close and in touch with Him. I have a story from another spiritual brother, Friend Vikash. He used to serve Maharaj in Mayapur. Mayapur is a different story. Whoever is being in Mayapur, Prabhu, they know when Guru Maharaj walks around, he's the king of Mayapur. He goes around and everybody wants to go close, everybody knows him around the village, everywhere, wherever he goes, everybody wants to get his mercy. So, Vikash, they went from Mayapur to Jagannath-puri with him and a group of devotees, and they went to visit the temple at Jagannath temple. That special Jagannath temple is a very known temple, but everybody can go in. I'm not sure everybody, but Maharaj was allowed to go in. And in that temple, they have Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, and they have these garlands made like camphor, no? They carve camphor and they do these garlands, no? This is very special. And Guru Maharaj came in, but when he was going in, there was this pujari, that it was very nasty. Like he saw him like an Occidental guy, big white, and he was very kind of disrespectful, He didn't want them to come in, and he was all the time trying to, make it difficult for him. So anyway, they managed to go in, and Guru Maharaj was standing there, praying to Jana, Balaram, and Subhadra, and then suddenly, from Subhadra, the garland fell to the floor in front of the Maharaj's feet. And Prabhupada very fast, he picked it up tight and put it on Maharaj. And then, the Pujari came running outside, crying, screaming, and making down that was on front of Guru Maharaj and asked for forgiveness. Yeah. That was that story. And it's a long story, but I need time for everybody to tell their stories. Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutile Srimate Jayapataka Swami Pranamane Nama Jayapataya Jayapatani Gaurkatha Dhamdaya Nagargamatani Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutile Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Pranamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prachane Nirvishita Srimati Prasthaya Shata Om Agyan Dimran Datta Gyana Jansalakya Tattva Tarina Tasmai Shri Guru. So I have my written offering, and if time allows, I will share some stories also. I have quite a few stories also. So I'll read the written offering, which is, as you know, is very formal, and you might want to listen more of the stories than the formal offering. So I'll just read it quickly because this is my opportunity to read a written offering. I won't let it go. So I'll make you to listen. So, Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev, Ananta Koti Danda Pranam unto your lotus feet, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. This insignificant eternal servant of yours wish you a very, very happy appearance day. I pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for your good health and well-being. Brahmand Brahmite Kauno, Bhagavan Ji, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya, Bhakti Lata Beach. Though we are not qualified, you have accepted us as your disciples and given us the seed of Bhakti Lata, and we are very grateful to you for that. Dear Gurudev, your compassion, your enthusiasm, your sincerity, your dedication to Srila Prabhupada in spreading the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very motivating, encouraging, inspiring. It makes me question the amount I'm stretching myself to serve you. Dear Gurudev, you have always followed in the footsteps and teachings of Srila Prabhupada. You have dedicated your whole life and soul in fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's wishes. You have never made any distinction when giving your mercy. You are ready to shower your mercy on anyone, even though they are not ready to receive it. You are so compassionate that you have taken so much risk, sacrificing your own comforts in order to help conditioned fallen souls like us. Irrespective of your health condition, you continue to travel and preach and make more and more devotees all over the world. Everywhere you go, you leave a sense of happiness and devotion in the hearts of the people you come across. Even when you are in the hospital, you are preaching and praying for the well-being of others instead of thinking of your own health. Such is your unlimited compassion. We pray to Krishna that you continue to give us your association for many years to come. So currently we are running a Bhakti Vriksha program at my home in York, PA. I helped running a Namhat program in Harrisburg for last 13 years after we moved to USA in 2005. In 2016 we bought a church and moved to our own place. Recently we have officially converted it to ISKCON under the guidance of His Grace Anutama Prabhu as our TBC. On this most auspicious day of your Vyaspuja celebration, we beg you to please forgive us for our offenses and please continue to bestow your mercy upon us so we can continue improving in our sadhana, so we can always remember Krishna, to develop the intelligence to understand the scriptures, preach, stand to follow your instructions, and to be of some use in your mission of serving your Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada and be a source of pleasure to you. Hare Krishna. Your insignificant servant Vrindavan Vijay Das and Manju Gupta. So coming to the story part, so I have not been very fortunate to have a lot of association from Guru Maharaj, but I can count, I might have met him probably some 9 or 10 times. I was in Middle East from 96 to 2004, so 8 years. Especially I was in those countries like Dubai, Qatar. I was 2 years in Dubai and 6 years in Qatar, and Maharaj would come every year at least, if not 3, at least 2 times. And those are like fixed weeks. We know during the Eid week, that Ramadan time, and he'd come there. And those countries are very restricted when we talk about practicing different religions, right? So he'll come to the airport and you'll see he'll have a shirt, usually it was half shirt, with the beach shirt kind of thing, the flowers on it, and they'll have a short, long short, and a big hat. A big hat to probably to hide the shikha. Right? And he'll come to the airport, and so those are not the places where when we used to go to receive him at the airports. We can't chant, we can't do kirtan. It's just you have to be quiet. You can't wear Western dress outside in the public. That was kind of not allowed. You can't carry your bead bags outside. So those Maharaj will come in a karmi dress. We used to call karmi dress. So karmi dress, and then the program. So once when he'll come and then he'll change his dress. So once he was. I was like very new means just started going probably a few months. And so I just said, well, Maharaj, this shirt doesn't look good on you, why don't you wear this one? I was like very immature and very childish, and I just said that because I was very new. And since that time, whenever he came next time, he'll ask me which shirt to wear. By going back, he'll ask me which shirt to wear. He remembered that time. So that was amazing because I was very new, and if you think about Maharaj's thousands and thousands of disciples, it's very, I don't know how he remembered me, like, you know, this is, but next time he came, so which shirt should I wear? That was very, I was really touched by that, like he could remember and he asked me that. Other time, this is, I met him at the Delhi airport. My flight landed and his flight landed at the same time. It was like night, some 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was with the family going for vacation to India, and his flight landed at the same time, and I saw him, and Mahavara Prabhu, Ekavira Prabhu and all his assistants were there, and like this, Maharaj stopped, he was waiting for his ice cream from the Mother's Dairy counter at the Delhi airport, and he loved that ice cream very much. So whenever he was at the Delhi airport, he will definitely make sure that he gets that ice cream like. So then I got some chance to talk to him. I was not initiated at that time, and it was very early, I was still in Middle East. Was talking about his mercy, we don't have enough words to at least to reflect in 10% of the mercy what he has. For me, there's no reason for him to know me. But at that day, I was talking to him. He said, "Oh, I'm going to the Delhi temple. Why don't you stay with me?" Like I was not initiated. I was nothing. I was probably a couple of years in going to the programs in Qatar and no. So when we say that he has this constant rain of his mercy coming on us, he's always he doesn't discriminate between this and that or he and she. It's always his offer of to come with him and stay with him in the temple was a lot of meaning to me. That time because I was very new to the movement. So that might have been probably close to 99, 2000 in that time. He does not have any health issue. He was very in good health and he was very active, very energetic. So that was another instance this is then when I got initiated in 2009 in Atlanta in during the Panihati festival. Before that, before the initiation, I was just went to Panihati festival in Atlanta. I was planning for initiation and then I knew that Maharaj comes to Panihati festival every year, so we planned it. I went there. There was a huge crowd, and that time I moved from US, from Middle East to here, and Maharaj was there. He was very busy talking to many devotees, and so I just went to him, or I talked to him. I was standing for some time. Then I said, Maharaj, I was in Qatar, and I have moved here, and I'm here for some time. Immediately, he asked someone to bring a chair, and he had me have prasadam with him, and he was talking. We exchanged emails. He gave me personal email and his Gmail address, and he said, you can write to me at this address anytime. I don't know how did he know me? I'm sure that he did not know me but now he has 40,000 disciples this, very hard to remember the devotee unless you are very close to him. And that time I was not even close to him, I was just a congregation member in Doha, in Qatar. And he had made me feel very, as if I was very close to him, very important, and that really touched me. So when we talk about his mercy, that is his mercy Since he has when I was taking initiation my wife, mind you, she was not ready for the initiation, and Maharaj asked him, she was next to me, and Maharaj asked him, are you chanting 16 rounds? She said, no, I'm trying, sometimes I am, sometimes I am not. Okay, if I initiate you, will you start chanting? See, that mercy he wants, who will do that? Who take that risk? Who will take that risk for the devotees who are not chanting 16 rounds and is still ready to give initiation So this is to both of my daughters, he gave he like, they would just go and see him like, oh yeah, and he gave shelter to them like. He has been so, he's very merciful to all of us, but I see like, the instances, what happened with me, they make me believe, make me feel as if like his constant outpour of rain, mercy of his rain coming on us for everyone like us. Since whenever I have so many devotees sharing their experience meeting Maharaj, and they're all, the common theme is he had unlimited compassion and mercy for us. Like he's ready to go out of the way to help us, to accept us at his lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In this day, I want to share something with all of you, friends and God brothers. Today is close to what is past Jayapataka, but we are celebrating today. We should remember that spiritual master give us the mercy in different ways, and we should apply every single day in our daily lives. Sometimes we take for granted the teachings of the spiritual master. Sometimes I might say, sometimes we think that, oh, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, okay, I finished my round, okay, I'm done. That's not correct. If we go by and we read or we hear our spiritual master, we'll find out that spiritual life is very difficult. And maybe many years that we will start to endure what the teachings are. So in my humble offering to my spiritual master, I might say that I'm being blessed to have him and to know the teachings of how to endure and to live trying to serve Krishna. For the ones who know a little about my spiritual master, I might say he is very open, like somebody on the body said before. He's very open to everybody. And I will share a couple of things with you. I am, since 1985, I'm his disciple. He has disciples, even has, a few of you knows that he has a nun. You know what's a nun? Google it. He has a disciple who's a nun. He's serving Lord Jesus, but still chanting Hare Krishna. It's another devotees who are not coming maybe to the Hare Krishna temple, but they follow his instructions. Guru Maharaj, I will tell you one story that recently somebody shared me from overseas. This was in 1996 when he used to go to South America constantly. He was the son. He arrived and he was leading, and Guru Maharaj always until the last minute was to preach everybody. So he was late to his plane. So everybody was running because he was gonna miss the plane and get out of the temple, and the Matajis at front, the Prabhus on the side, but like 100 feet down was a drunkard. It's a man completely drunk. He was kind of screaming whatever. When he saw the girls, he started to run and attack one of the Matajis. Guru Maharaj, he said that stand up there. Only one glance straight to the eyes to the drunkard. Only one time. The man, the madman and drunkard, saw the spiritual master. He froze. He was attacking them, he froze. turn around and screaming and yelling, start to run away from where he was already trying to attack the girl. So this person who shared this with me told me, I'm not your spiritual sister, I'm not a Hare Krishna, but I was there like friends were there, but I'm telling you one thing. Your spiritual master has powers and he is very spiritual man because only God can shield a devotee when he is in danger. When she told me that, I come in tears. Because many times we don't really realize what the spiritual master is. And we are so blessed that we have him still in this planet. Some disciples of Srila Prabhupada a long time ago told me, go to Lila Shakti, all of you are blessed. I said, yeah, we are blessed because we are Hare Krishna. No, he said, no. You are blessed because you have your spiritual master in this planet. If you have your spiritual master in this planet, you are protected and you are blessed. So remember every single day. So now I'm telling you, please be happy. Let's be happy and be blessed. Let's keep sharing our most beautiful masters and our spiritual master who give us, oh no, I think I can talk over and over and over, but I just want to tell you that I'm happy in my heart that you are here and I have the kindness to all of us. We get the blessed from the deities and our spiritual master and our grandfather, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much and have a blessed day. Hare Krishna.
And in particular, ISKCON at large is very fortunate to have such a senior and very sincere, dedicated spiritual leader in our movement. So we all should pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. And I was taking darshan and I saw his favorite murtis, pictures that is put there. It wasn't there yesterday, but it is there now. The Lord Nrsimhadev, his most favorite Lord Nrsimhadev. And I think that Lord Nrsimhadev has protected him twice through the very, very serious, you can call it illness. So we all can pray, and I really appreciate that we are able to celebrate his appearance day, Vyaspuja. I'm not his disciple and I don't have that much contact, but fortunately I had a few contacts. First time when I was in Mayapur in '84, from a distance I see 11 spiritual masters sitting on the Vyasasana, and he stands out because of his big, huge body. And in Kirtan, what impressed me most is big kartal, very heavy. I mean, it was the first time I saw that big kartal, that he was so doing so, but that was from a very distance. 96, when we were celebrating 100 years anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's appearance, and it was Gaur Purnima, and a bunch of us and His Holiness, we went to take a bath in Gangi, just walking distance from the temple. And we were all, he was in Gamcha, and we were all getting excited in the cooling water of Ganga on a very hot day of Gaur Purnima. And he was just like a scout teacher, he says, don't go there, don't do it, this, it's dangerous, this and that. So that was my first very close encounter, like, 5 feet, 10 feet, Luckily or unluckily, my second encounter came with Maharaj when he went into coma in Mumbai. I was invited by my Guru Maharaj, who was very close to him. He's very close to him. That he was very serious and everybody was praying. I had almost 5 days rituals every day with His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, myself, and few other disciples and Guru Maharaj. We'll go to the Hinduja temple and we spent some time with him at his bedside. That was my second opportunity. Of course, he was, in a position that in coma. About even though he's a very senior leader, he's the one who had given the sannyas diksha to my spiritual master. So in that sense, he's a senior, like a spiritual master for him. But what I observed, which is was very interesting, he was just coming out, I think second or third or fourth day, I'm not sure exactly. He was now coming out of coma. And he was not even still able to open his eyes, but he will hear now. His hearing came. As we know that first comes hearing. And my Guru Maharaj asked him, said, Maharaj, how are you, Maharaj? Very well, Maharaj. So now he was coming up coma, and he recognized who was calling him out. Even though he could not see because he was his eyes very closed. And Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was holding his hand and very gently, like he didn't want to do any harm, And he grabbed his hand and slowly, because it was slow movement, and tried to put it on his head. I mean, look at the senior and how humility, the humility, example of the humility, Then we have seen him sometimes, when he came to Potomac and Nan Kumar's place, and of course, he always gives that oil smear on our hands and forehead, So, we are all very fortunate and we should pray for his well-being. I'm very happy that he's doing so good after this very, very major surgery. And we pray to Lord Narasimha for his long, long life. ISKCON needs it. We need it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So, rather than everybody hear my written because obviously that's for Guru Maharaj, not for all of you. I think I'd rather share some stories that I've had being fortunate enough to travel with Guru Maharaj and take care of him on my little time here on earth. But I don't know what I did, or obviously whatever my mother chanted to get me such a close association with Guru Maharaj and actually receive his mercy. And when I went to go take shelter for him back in Nihati in 2014, he just looked at me in the eye. He didn't even ask, all the standard questions, have you been chanting? Have you been following around? And I said, yes, Guru Maharaj. And he said, okay. And he turned to Kavir Prabhu and he said, come in the ceremony. And then that put me in the most hectic 2 hours of my life, trying to find all new clothes, new beads, shave my head, try to call 3 different numbers to get a hold of a mother in Vrindavan who told me, but she wasn't there at the time, so eventually after 5 phone calls, I got in touch with her husband, and I was able to get the recommendation, and an hour before the ceremony, finished the test, and got everything done, and then by the end of it all, I was just crying, so happy that I actually managed to pull it all off within that time frame. But Guru Maharaj does that sometimes, all of us in this gigantic family. He'll put you under stress because he knows you can take it, and will make you all the better for it. But one thing that I've noticed every time I go travel and take care of him, his mind is something else. Despite all the stress and all the health issues that he's gone through, this mind hasn't altered one bit. He will switch. I've literally seen him switch from 7 different languages like 1 minute he's talking with all of his servants, like the time I've been with him, most of us were Hispanic, so we're all speaking Spanish with him, and then like when a Bengali disciple comes, he's like, no, estamos hablando español. So he knows like each group of his disciples, they all have their different customs, and he wants to cater to that. He wants to build that relationship. And so like I've literally seen him swap. We go like straight from Tamil, we'll go switch to Spanish and then English. His mind is on a level that I can't even comprehend. And then not only spiritual advice that he'll provide, but he'll also provide practical advice. I remember we were feeding him one time and providing his different meals, and all the disciples would bring their preparations. And then one of my godbrothers who was feeding him, he said, no. Let me finish this first dish one at a time. And then he went on to explain that it's good to eat one dish at a time rather than sample everything while you're eating your plate, because your stomach actually produces digestive enzymes to finish that food. And once you finish that food, then you can let your body, okay, now we're going to eat this pakora. And then we're going to eat the sabzi, then the dal. So you don't overwhelm your stomach. Take care of your body. It's Krishna's, it's not yours. It's like all this practical advice that he just provides. And then not only that, he's still young at heart. We were in New Vrindavan one time in his room, and he was getting ready to go take rest. And then he turned to me and my godbrother Chandra, and he said, go grab me that pillow. And he put it in, and he's like, now I feel like the Anyakashi. Just lay back. And then he joked with us, and he said, obviously I'm pretty sure he's a GBC, and so he's got a very busy schedule. So after literally everywhere we go, we have to constantly be reading him emails and updates. Even when he's brushing his teeth, while someone's brushing his teeth, one of us is with his phone reading off the emails, like, this is the newest update from Mayapur, this is what's going on. Okay. But then before he goes to bed, I go, I'm in bed. And he talked about his days of playing rugby when he was in university with us. It's something he's not just only a spiritual master, he's also a friend. And that's something that I'm really fortunate that I can actually call him my friend. And he'll do some amazing things to motivate you in some ways that you won't expect. We were in Atlanta for Panihati, and I was working with Festival of India, and we were setting up the tents. And normally what we do is we will either tie the tents down to barrels so they don't blow away, or we'll put stakes in the ground. And this one time we were staking, and the city, Atlanta, didn't actually mark out where the water pipes and the gas lines were underground. So we had no idea where they were, so we were just putting stakes in the ground. Okay, the president wants this tent here for the blowgun, this tent here for the children's theater. So I went to go put in one of the tents, and I put in the stake, and within the first hit, I hit a gas line, and it delayed the festival for 2 hours. And Guru Maharaj was coming on his exercise in his wheelchair. And then later he pointed out, he was talking with some other godbrothers of mine, and says, this is my young disciple. He has such Shakti that he can hit a gas line in a matter of minutes, whereas the people from the city, they have to come with all this fancy equipment to figure out where this pipeline is, how wide it is, and what kind of incision they need to make in the ground. So it's things like that. He'll put you down, he'll embarrass you, but he'll find ways to compliment you at the same time. So it's like a very unique relationship that he can make with his disciples. But it's just super incredible. I can't honestly imagine how he's managed to. And previously we were just discussing how Lord Nrsimhadev has protected him through his two health issues, the major health issues. And I know there's the phrase, the hand of God, they say this person has been touched by the hand of God. Guru Maharaj just literally has the hand of God on him, not just figuratively like you say that, but obviously you can't really tell because when he's wearing all of his chadar, his kurta, you can't see it, but when we were going to bathe him either the Ganga, or even if we were just changing him and getting him ready for give class, underneath, you know how some people when they go to Vrindavan, they'll get all the fanciest neck beads. You have no idea how many mala he has on his neck, and he actually has 2 lion claws that he always wears. So he literally has the hand of Lord Nrsimhadev on him at all times. So it's honestly no surprise how he's managed to recover from all of this health issues that have troubled him over the past years. And even listening to him when he was in Chennai and he was giving lectures day by day, you can tell the therapy that he's going through. At this point, you don't really need a translator anymore to understand what he's saying. Obviously, I've traveled with him enough so I can understand him without the translator, but even just at a glance, if I hear it in the background, now you just hear him speak. He has that determination, there's that Shakti that he's able to speak without like any difficulty now. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years you'd start to hear him speak clearly without translator. And then hopefully at one point, I know one he saw a Russian doctor recently, he said with a proper therapy, he could walk again. And I honestly have no doubt, because Srila Prabhupada gave him such Shakti, and it's been passed on, and you just can clearly see that. I have faith in Srila Prabhupada's system because he gave me Guru Maharaj. And here he is still to this day, doing what he's always done, without stop. And yeah, there's a reason why he's in the Guinness World Book of Records for one of the most traveled people on the planet. He has complete faith in Srila Prabhupada, and he has complete faith that hopefully his disciples will be able to carry it on, and hopefully everybody in ISKCON will be able to carry it on. And I just want to say thank you, Guru Maharaj. You're Mr. Mayapur. You're indestructible. And I hope to keep on following your teachings till the end of my days and for however many lifetimes follow after this one. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So just jotting us some things which just came to my heart, just came out. When I was starting my devotional service, I think 2007, 2008, that time I was just learning to chant. And one thing I always realized that, a sannyasi or guru comes through two ways, Bapu and Vani. I never had association with him, but I always used to, when chanting, sometimes hear Prabhupada chanting, sometimes hear his chanting, and his chanting was really so melodious that I used to sometimes sit and chant there. I felt like his presence all the time. It was very, very beautiful. He's an empowered soul. You are an empowered soul, Maharaj. And even Paulos, Sri Prabhupada orders to the extent becomes empowered. Like Guru Maharaj always extols your virtues, how wonderfully you've handled, single-handedly managed Mayapur in such a big preaching center for that one. Preaching is your essence, and that shows how under your pioneering guidance, hundreds of bhakti vikshas have opened up all over the world. I had association of your disciples, Prem Padmi Devi Dasi, and she was telling me how in 90s you saw that Namhata is not progressing very much, so you changed the concept of bhakti viksha, and now under your guidance, I heard that 700 bhakti vikshas open in Russia, hundreds of them in Middle East, and everywhere is glorified because of your wonderful efforts. Mayapur, you live like a king there. I was fortunate one time when I was there for 2 days and I heard Maharaj is coming. So I saw this whole procession of devotees bringing him here from the thing, and I saw this is the king of Mayapur. The way you change everything, of course, in the Prabhupada's vision. How the Prince of Mayapur, Prabhupada is the king for that. How he guided you through and how he followed him completely, single-heartedly. His words were sure like soul completely, and you changed everything. So this is why Mayapur is great, is here for that one. I had association with you once only during New York Rath Yatra. You were in a wheelchair, and I just came to you and said, Maharaj, I'm temple president in Baltimore. We are building a temple. I just needed blessings. And with his hand, he came and he said, the temple will be built. Being ISKCON, we have a differences. Sometimes difference between gurus, sometimes disciples, sometimes the family. But if you really want to understand Prabhupada mood, you're one of the foremost coming to the mind because you overlook everybody's discrepancies and love. And as you glorify the qualities, many, many bounds. Krishna lives through his devotees, especially those he loves the most, and glorify them. I always saw you as the most jolly sannyasi. I pray to Lord to give you long life so that he can fulfill this unfortunate soul desire that you come and bless this temple and make us purified.
Everybody spoke a lot of good qualities of Jayapataka Maharaj. I do not have much association, but I have a few times had some associations. First time I went to Mayapur in 1982, and that time in Mayapur there are 11 gurus and many sannyasis, and we are not ISKCON devotee of anybody. First time going there, seeing the Mayapur, this looks like a heaven on earth. And the first time I went to Mayapur, I'm talking about in 30 years ago. Now it's more beautiful than before. And then people introduced to us that there are sannyasis, there are some gurus. So among all sannyasis and all gurus, if you see, he stand out the first. Because of, as Swami mentions, his big body, his roaring sound, he talks, he says, the Thai Goranga, and then you can see that how people can react. His kartal when he playing is tremendous. You never seen this before like this kind of kartal. He gives class and he organized Mayapur festival so beautifully that everybody enjoys. He takes care of all the disciples, all the devotees from top to the bottom. He makes sure that everybody gets good time in Mayapur. So that was the first interaction, that first time we met Jayapataka Maharaj from distance, not closely. Then once in a while he comes to ISKCON Potomac, and especially because of probably Kumar Prabhu, he is coming to this area. And sometimes he's stopped by maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours in Potomac Temple on the way to New York or somewhere. And of course, he just gives little bit enthusiasm and upliftment to the devotees when you talk to him or when you sit down with him. Sometimes you feel a little bit scared of him too, because the way that he talks sometimes you feel like that maybe he's going to put you down, but at the same time he has a very good heart that you can see. One time I had a good association, not closely because that time the program was in Anand Prabhu's home. I think I'm sure that most of his disciples, those who are here today, they were not that time. And it's about 15 to at least 18 years ago. And he has invited Jayapataka Maharaj to home, and there are only 50 to 20 or maybe 30 of the most people gathered together. And first time I heard about Mama had Bhakti Vriksha, and he gave more details kind of analysis how to do it. And I said, it does not make sense. But then I realized today that he is the pioneer of all the Bhakti Vriksha and Mama program. And now he's spreading all over the world actually. And because of that program, there are many thousands of devotees that are now becoming more and more getting educated also. So he has so much contributions to ISKCON. Of course, he has tremendous responsibility, and he is very well respected among all ISKCON devotees, ISKCON members. We are fortunate that we are celebrating ISKCON Baltimore Temple today. This is the first time I believe that we have Vyaspuja celebration, and this is the 70th celebration. This is very good things that happen in Baltimore Temple. Of course, Jayapataka Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and all the senior Vaishnavas in ISKCON, Prabhupada disciples, they are very close to each other. But somehow I think Gopal Krishna Maharaj and Jayapataka Maharaj has a very good tie, friendship, you can say. And because of that, I think his disciples, both Guru Maharaj's disciples, they have also very good association and tie. And hopefully we work together and serve him. Hare Krishna.
So I was thinking what to speak, and then Nilumada Prabhu touched on it, and then also Advaita Prabhu also. So, we say Prabhupada built a house in which the whole world can live, right? So when they live in a house, they are family. And actually, if you see around now, we are a family, because he's my spiritual father, but I have my spiritual uncle there, Father Prabhu there, my siblings are there, my cousins are there, uncles, aunts, everybody's there. So when we say Prabhupada built a house, actually we can see this is what it means. That we can all come together and glorify one of his sons, because that's his birthday, that's his appearance day. That also relates to the way when in my interview for initiation, he asked me only one question: will you help me serve Srila Prabhupada? And I said no. I said yes. That's one question he asked. Another question he asked is, what do you need from me? Just straight up he asked me, what do you need from me? So I said, just give me what you think is right for me. And he said, okay, come tomorrow for initiation. So that was after my interview, and then next day was the initiation. But then I always had this doubt in my mind. One thing which was holding me was that he has too many disciples. And if he's got so many disciples, I'm going to be one of them. If I'm just one of them, will I ever get any attention? So because of that, I was very reluctant to take initiation. I was reluctant to the extent that during initiation ceremony, I did not go. The one in which I got initiated, I did not go. I was just sitting in the crowd. Usually it happens in Mayapur that things go a little bit late. Sometimes they go really late. So it was late by 3-4 hours. So everybody was waiting. They were waiting for Maharaj to come. It was exactly at the same spot where the temple is being built now, right next to the long building. So after like about 2 hours of sitting in the crowd, it just occurred to me that let me just go ahead. Let me just jump in. So I ran from there to the cloth shop near the boundary, bought a dhoti, then ran to the brahmachari ashram, took shower, put the new dhoti on, tilak, and then came back, and I was there 3 hours late. So 2.5, 3 hours late. So when I came in at that time, everybody was looking at me like, what's wrong with him? And everybody was, the men, they were all shaven, so they were very clean shaven, really prepared, and I was so unprepared for it. And there was no spot left also because you sit around, there were many fire pits, so everybody was sitting around, all the spots were taken. If there were 5 people, they adjusted accordingly. If there were 6, they were adjusted accordingly. So then there was no place for me to sit. So then finally, because it was so awkward for me, but I said I had to do it. So I went to the last one, the last fire sacrifice, and they somehow gave me a spot to sit there. So then after that he came, and then the initiation started. So one by one he started calling names. So then when my name came, then he said, he is from Pune, he is a software engineer, and he's not saved up because he has to go back to work tomorrow. I did not shave up, everybody else was shaven up. And it was very awkward to sit in an assembly of devotees who were so ready to take initiation. Saffron, white, didn't matter. They were really cleaning, shining hair, they all shaven up, ready to go. And I was so bored, so unfit. But then it just cleared up right then that he said he's a software engineer and he works in Pune. I was thinking, how does he remember? Because I met him only once. And the only time I met him was almost like 9 months ago when I asked him if I can get the shelter, and he said yes. So then he remembered, and that cleared that doubt that regardless of the number of disciples he has, he will always have time for me. And I always felt, it's been 19 years, I've always felt if I need to reach him anytime, he is available within 24 hours. Unless he cannot respond, he is always available. If you try to reach him, he will be available for anybody. So that's about me, about how I always feel inspired by him. And just one more thing I want to point out is that the Bhagavad Gita says that we are not the body, and it's easy to understand, but it's difficult to live like that. And we see in his case that actually he is living like that. Because if you see his body, it's pretty dysfunctional actually. If you see his body, some of the details are very disturbing. Is like he cannot close his eye, for example, right? He cannot close one of his eye, he cannot close the one which is paralyzed, he cannot close it. So they put a little weight on the eye, so then it has little movement. So he can move up and down because he has to blink, right? Eyes need to blink. It is good, but what happens when you go to sleep? The weight doesn't work. Right? He is lying down, the weight doesn't work. So every night they have to literally pull his eye down and put a band, this patch on it, so that he can sleep in the night. But he doesn't complain, he doesn't say anything. There are so many inconveniences he's going through, but he doesn't complain about it. He just goes on. His body is going south, and his consciousness is actually going north. He is just now after surgery. He cannot come in physical contact with people because of the infection. So they build like a glass kind of thing around him. I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of a whole section which is completely insulated from other people. And he's got a microphone on one side and the speaker on the other side, and the same way for the other people. And still he is meeting hundreds of people every day in Mayapur. If you see in the morning on Facebook, you see him, he's meeting people. So, when we say we are not the body, well actually he is living that example. His body is dysfunctional, but he is very much functional. Right? He is more than functional. So we can easily see that he's actually teaching by example. And that's what it means when we say Acharya. Acharya means not a rubber stamp that okay, I have a guru and I have something I can say, okay, I'm special. But actually someone who can teach by example how to live life. And we can see in his case that he's living for Prabhupada and he's also telling us how to live life. So those are the two things I wanted to share.
So today, well not today, but the 9th is officially Maharaj's birthday. My wife was reminding me in the car when she met Maharaj, she said, my son Pitambar is also born on April 9th, on Ekadasi. So she said, I pray that he becomes a great devotee like you because you share the same birthday. So I said, that's very auspicious, I have to mention that. So, good luck for my son. So Maharaj, we all, in the early days, we all heard of Jayapataka Swami. He was in India, so we didn't get to see him much. He didn't travel to the West, he was always in India. And we never went to India very much in the early days. My first trip to India was 1975, when they opened the Krishna Balaram temple. And we went to Mayapur when it was still pretty rustic. And Jayapataka Swami was a thin sannyasi then, tall and thin, and very enthusiastic. So I didn't, we all knew of him, and he was selected by Prabhupada just before Prabhupada left to be one of the 11 original personalities, acharyas that take over after Prabhupada left. And he's done that duty quite enthusiastically. Like I said, he has, I don't know, 20, so many disciples, 15, 20,000?
It's a 40,000.
Is it up to 40 now?
Now 45.
Close to 40,000.
Yeah.
Close to 40,000 now.
That's amazing.
25,000 to go.
It says, and Rupa Goswami says, one should not take too many disciples. But Prabhupada asked him to take, what did he say? Did he say 25? 50? He's getting close. Yeah. Prabhupada specifically asked him to take many, 50,000. So my time I got to spend with Maharaj, a few times, I went on that safari. He was doing that safari throughout India. I went on that 4 times over a period of maybe 7 years. And we would travel to all the holy places. So always got to be in the car with Maharaj. The godbrothers got to be very close to Maharaj. And there was only like 5 or 6 godbrothers that went on that safari. And it was, there was four tier. There was 4 beds, and when we sat during the day. So at night, Maharaj got the bottom bunk, and I ended up with the top bunk, and everybody looked at me like, "You can't sleep on the top bunk, Maharaj. What are you?" I'm like, "Nowhere else to sleep." Maharaj looked at me and said, "Don't worry about it." Very merciful. So we're in the car, I'm thinking I gotta be in the car with Maharaj so I can spend time with Maharaj and I can talk to him and I can have, a lot of time with Maharaj. Turned out I had no time with Maharaj. There was a parade of people throughout the train, hours and hours, long train rides in India, hours and hours. All the devotees would come up from the back cars, all the Russians and South Americans and all the different devotees to see Maharaj nonstop. Come to see, ask questions, ask problems, and we would just be there watching Maharaj, dealing with people, non-stop dealing with people. And then we would go to all these different holy places. We would have Rath Yatras. There was like 4 or 5 Rath Yatras scheduled. We had Rath Yatra in Bangalore and some of the other South India. I went to this. There was safari went to different places. I went to the South Indian ones that we went to. And we would have these festivals. Maharaj would speak, with Pandal programs. He would allow all of us to come up on the stage and speak. Very friendly. I remember Maharaj was talking about the early days when he first joined in Montreal. And it was a bowling alley. The temple was a bowling alley in Montreal that they had rented. And you had to walk up this, it was 2nd floor. So he told me, he said, someone wrote on the wall going up the stairwell, welcome to the spiritual world, something like that. And he said, I came in to see that temple room. It was, unique. And then he said to me, Prabhupada had a tendency to give people names, spiritual names, initiated names, that were related to their birth names. And then he looked at me and he said, my name was Jai, or Jay, I think it was. So I became Jayapataka. And then he asked me, Anutama, what was your name? I said, well, my name was Tom. I became a new Tom. So he said, just see, Prabhupada would often do that. Would take something similar to what you were born with. And then I also went with him to South America on several trips. I went to Bolivia, I went to Ecuador, I went to Peru with him, and got to be with him in those places. I would call up, I would say, when's Maharaj coming again? Well, he's coming, but he's only spending like one day, He's like, I was like, hey, that's too short for me. I gotta fly down there for one day. And it's like, he was like, they would say he would spend more time in the air than in the ground. He was always traveling to all the temples. Prabhupada also said that about his life. Prabhupada said once that, I travel just to enthuse my disciples, just to encourage my disciples. So Maharaj also was following like that, to always encourage his disciples. And solve problems, there's always problems. So every time I went somewhere with him, there's a group of devotees with problems. There's always some problem. But that's the purpose of the spiritual master, to Om Jnana Timirandasya, to enlighten us, to open our eyes, solve our problems. I also remember every time he would begin a lecture, he'd always start off, Om Jnana Timirandasya. Sound familiar? He would stretch it out and be very loud. Every time. So, last time I did see him in Bombay. We saw him, and just after he got sick in Bombay, we went to visit him. Radhanath Swami, myself, and Jayapataka Swami. We went to the hospital to see him, and originally he was unconscious for almost a month after his stroke. So we got to see him, but he was not talking. And then I saw him, I hadn't seen him again since we went in Bombay for the 40th anniversary last a year and a half ago almost, in January. And he was there for that, and I got to spend a few minutes with him. And we did a group photo of all the God brothers who came for that. We're in that picture with Maharaj. Maharaj was always very encouraging his God brothers to do more, to help out. I think you were saying, help me spread Krishna, help me with Prabhupada's mission. So he's also asking us like that too. Please help us. Please do something. When he saw some of his God brothers who were enthusiastic to be involved with projects or do things, he was always encouraging. So Mars is just a wonderful person. We always enjoyed being with him. Didn't get to see him quite as much as we would like, because he came to, I remember also Toronto too, Rath Yatra. We came to Toronto with him some years back. He was I'm standing next to Maharaj at the park in Toronto. They have that park on the island, the big island there, after the parade. And I'm standing with Maharaj, and he has that stick, his walking stick, his blessed, and he has the oil, the Shinga oil, giving everyone the Shinga oil. And I'm standing with him for like an hour, and it's just nonstop people, People coming up, asking questions, asking blessings, just having his darshan, taking his mercy. And after about an hour or two, he leans over to me, he says, gee, it gets kind of difficult to chant your round sometimes for Anutama Prabhu. I was like, there's never any time. There's like so many people. Everyone was always enthusiastic to see him. But I always appreciated his sincerity and his full dedication to Prabhupada and his friendship to me. I take it as it is, that he is my friend, even though I don't get to see him too much. So, thank you for inviting me. I would
तस्मै श्री नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामी नामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथाधावधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. First of all, I'd like to thank all the devotees of Baltimore Yatra for kindly letting us have the ceremony here. Hare Krishna. And especially thank Gopalpati Madhav for all his hard work. The event is because of his inspiration. He's been talking about it for many months now. And he's tirelessly worked all day yesterday shopping and all day today cooking and making it all first class for the offering. He's my personal inspiration for my daily worship, for my Shaligram worship, so I'm always ever thankful to him. This event also made it convenient for the devotees locally to be able to attend, because there's also going to be another event tomorrow. Is that at your place? Yes. At Nanda Kumar Prabhu's place. So the actual Janma Tithi of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami happens to be tomorrow on the Ekadashi that follows Ram Navami. And so we will be observing the actual Tithi tomorrow. But there is also two other kinds of Vyaspuja that are bona fide, that are recommended in the scriptures. One is known as Smriti Vyaspuja, and the other one is known as Dhyana Vyaspuja. Smriti Vyaspuja is celebrated in memory of the Janma Tithi, and it is usually celebrated after the day of the actual Vyaspuja. And the Dhyana Vyaspuja is the one that we are celebrating today, which is celebrated in meditation of an event that is going to occur in the future, which is tomorrow. So these are not some bogus celebrations, they are actually bona fide celebrations. You can celebrate before or after the day of the actual Tithi. Now if we see all great personalities are born on great Tithis. Ekadashi is a great Tithi to be born, and like Anantama Prabhu was saying, his son was born on Ekadashi too. So that's very auspicious. And I believe His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami was also born on Ekadashi that follows Janmashtami. And Srila Prabhupada was born on Nandotsav, which is the very next day after Lord Krishna's appearance. So the birth itself is auspicious, and that shows already that these are transcendental personalities. Now, the normal Vedic tradition, the understanding is you do not celebrate a Janma Tithi before the actual day. It is considered inauspicious. It is said that the lifespan of the person whose birthday you celebrate before the day of, they will have their lifespan reduced, shortened. And that's applicable for ordinary human beings. But in this case, we are celebrating the life of an extraordinary human being who is a spiritually advanced Bhagavata. So it doesn't pertain to his celebration, so that's okay. So it can be celebrated before or after. And if we see, he actually gave permission to all his disciples to have this celebration either before or after. And many yatras, like in the Middle East, in South America, in Russia, and even in India, they celebrate either before or after the actual day. So there is nothing wrong in it. It's just that the spiritual master is compassionate and accepts what we offer, even at a time when it is more convenient for us. And the normal understanding is you do the right thing when somebody is watching, and it is hard to do the right thing when somebody is not watching and no one's looking at us. And the same thing goes to spiritual practice, to execute devotional service when it is convenient is easy. Anybody can do that. But to execute devotional service when it is inconvenient, that's what is glorified. So we see that in the personal life of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. We also see that in Srila Prabhupada's life. He had so many physical inconvenience at an advanced age, and he had several heart attacks he had suffered, and there was always some physical ailment that he was going through, but that didn't stop him from executing devotional service. And we hear of so many funny stories of his disciples who were much younger than him, healthier than him, but couldn't keep up with Srila Prabhupada. And that's because he's on a different platform, not on the bodily platform that most of us are. And the same we see in the life of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, that he's not on the bodily platform. He's beyond the bodily platform. And he can execute devotional service, especially when it is inconvenient. That's when we get that instruction, we get that personal teaching by his own personal example, that devotional service should be executed even at personal inconvenience. Now, we have seen this even during his healthy years before the stroke. He used to travel a lot more than he does now, but that hasn't stopped, his current health condition hasn't stopped him from traveling tirelessly even now. But back in the day, I always like his sense of humor. When one of his grandbrothers asked him, what inspires you? What is it that gives you enthusiasm about all this traveling? What keeps you going? He said, the smell of the jet fuel. He joked about it. He said, the smell of the jet fuel gives me the inspiration to keep going. And if you think about it, we all travel. We travel to India or to different parts of the world, and when we come back, it takes us a few days to recover from the jet lag. And I was reading up stuff how the jet lag usually lasts for about 2 weeks for most people, most healthy people. And it's not just physical tiredness, but also mentally it's exhausting, and it creates a sort of depression mentally. You have a low sense of motivation. But in his example, we saw when he was healthy or after this stroke and current health situation, he still travels internationally, he still travels locally, and he's still inspiring people. When everyone else has low motivation, he is doing the opposite. He's motivating everyone to execute devotional service and inspiring devotees to continue devotional service. So that's amazing. One other funny thing I want to talk about is one of the pictures, Nanda Kumar Prabhu was talking about how his physical condition and the physical body itself, there are certain difficulties with the closing of the eye or the mouth, smiling. So there is one picture that he posed for after the stroke, and because he couldn't smile, he used his fingers and he's making a facial expression with his fingers showing he's actually smiling. So the externals are really not what disturb someone who is spiritually advanced, and that's a lesson that we learn from him. And even it's not an example that he's setting only for his disciples, but he's setting that example for even other spiritual masters, even for other senior devotees. When he was in the hospital, right when he had the stroke and he was in the coma and unconscious for all those days, some of his grandbrothers were talking to his disciples about, does he have a will in place? They had given up hope. And they were saying, you got to start thinking about the final rites. And while the disciples were all completely confused, they were shocked and they were all crying. And when even so many other people had given up hope, he didn't give up hope. He fought for his life, not like other ordinary human beings would fight for their lives so they can enjoy. And most people who go through a heart attack or a stroke, once they recover from it, they're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to retire and I'm going to just not do anything. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to travel. But in this case, it's the opposite. He's still traveling tirelessly. He's still, pushing on the mission. And that, only happens because of him devoutly following Srila Prabhupada, his own spiritual master. So on this Vyaspuja event, I pray that he gives me personally the same strength and all of us who have gathered here to glorify him for his great qualities and pray to him that he blesses us with the same strength. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
उताई कृपा प्रदायिने गौरव धामदाय नगर ग्रामकारिणे नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी की नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देश करने. My English is not good. I am speaking English. That's why Prabhuji translate English. As good Prabhu you speak. हिंदी में बोलो.
तद्वार विसर्ग.
I did my Guru Maharaj service 2007 to 2015 in India, and I did his personal service, and I did when he lived out of India. That time I am serving in Jew temple, Raspberry temple, Puja service. So I am is a youngest servant to my Guru Maharaj that time. So he is like my father. उन्होंने जो व्यवहार करते थे मेरे साथ, तो हमारा साथ जो संपर्क था श्री गुरु महाराज का पिता और पुत्र का रिलेशन था.
The way he used to treat me, it was like a father and son relationship.
तो मैं जब गुरु महाराज की सेवा नहीं करते थे तो मेरे मन में बहुत कभी कभी कुछ शक होता था, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता है.
Whenever I did not get a chance to serve him, then I used to get a doubt in the mind that how is that happening, how is it possible.
तो शास्त्र में बोलते हैं गुरु अंतर्जामी होते हैं, भगवान का प्रतिनिधि होता है, लेकिन हम ये जड़ शरीर में कभी कभी जड़ चेतना के कारण हम गुरु को भी साधारण मनुष्य समझते हैं.
Shastra says that Guru is the Antaryami, he knows what's in your heart, but we think that he is an ordinary person.
तो ऐसा मेरे साथ भी हुआ है. तो एक बार हम गुरु महाराज को सर्विस कर रहा था, तो फास्टिंग था और गौर पूर्णिमा डे था. तो गौर पूर्णिमा के एक दिन पहले हम लोग बहुत सेवा किया, तो बहुत प्रसाद लेने के टाइम नहीं मिला था. तो नेक्स्ट डे फास्टिंग है, ऑल डे फास्टिंग. तो मैं बहुत थक गया था, लेकिन मैं गुरु महाराज को नहीं बोले थे हम थका हुआ है.
So it happened to me once the day before Gaur Purnima, we were working very hard, so I did not get a chance to eat anything all day. So I was very tired and I did not get a chance to tell Maharaj that I did not eat.
श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय, नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, गौर निताय की जय, निताय गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. तो उसके बाद मैं संध्याकालीन आफ्टर अभिषेक तो गुरु महाराज जी को मैं सर्व कर रहा था. तो गुरु महाराज को मैं जब सर्व करने के लिए गया, तो गुरु महाराज फर्स्ट मेरे को बोला तुम इधर बैठो.
So I was serving Guru Maharaj and I was serving him in the evening. So when I went there, he asked me to sit next to him.
Then मैं पूछा गुरु महाराज को क्या हो गया गुरु महाराज, मैं तो सर्व करूँगा आपको, आप क्यों मुझे बोल रहे हो इधर बैठने के लिए.
So I asked Guru Maharaj that I am here to serve you. Why are you asking me to sit next to you?
Then Guru Maharaj speaking Bengali with me. এখানে বসো. जब उन्होंने मेरे को थोड़ा जोर से बोला इधर बैठो, तो मैं बैठ गया.
So he firmly said that sit here, and then I sat down.
Then another एक devotee है देवो गौरांग प्रभु, वो बहुत सीनियर है. तो प्रभु को बोला एक प्लेट लेके आओ.
So there is a senior devotee, his name is Devagoranga, and he asked Prabhu to bring a plate.
तो गुरु महाराज के लिए जो प्रसाद बनाया था तो गुरु महाराज के पहले मेरे थाली में डाल रहा था.
So what he cooked for Guru Maharaj, he was actually serving me before serving Guru Maharaj.
तो उस टाइम पे मेरे को रियलाइज हुआ गुरु अंतर्जामी है.
So that's when I realized that Guru is Antaryami, he knows what you are thinking.
तो हम कभी कभी हमारे जड़ दृष्टि से भगवान के प्रतिनिधि को हम साधारण समझते हैं, लेकिन ये बहुत बड़ा पाप है.
So we think a representative of Krishna, we think him as ordinary, but that's a great sin.
तो ऐसे और जब मैं प्रसाद ले रहा था तो मैं बहुत इमोशनल हो गया था. तो फिर मैं गुरु महाराज को एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था. तो गुरु महाराज बोला तू मेरे स्पिरिचुअल बच्चा है, तो मैं तेरे आध्यात्मिक पिता हूँ, तो तेरे को मैं ज़्यादा समझता हूँ.
So I became very emotional and then I asked him a question and then he replied saying that you are my spiritual son, so I understand you better.
तो ऐसे ही मैं गुरु महाराज का साथ कर रहा था. तो 2014 में तो मैं गुरु महाराज का बेसिकली नाइट सर्विस करते थे. तो उस टाइम पे 2014 में मेरे को आफ्टरनून शिफ्ट में शिफ्ट कर दिया. तो मेरा सर्विस था गुरु महाराज के साथ दोपहर 2 बजे से लेकर रात को 10 बजे तक, लेकिन मैं उनके साथ 12-1 बजे तक रहते थे.
So my service in 2014 was to do the night shift with Guru Maharaj, but later they changed my shift to afternoon, so I was supposed to be there from 2 to 10, but I would generally end up staying till midnight.
तो गुरु महाराज राधाष्टमी के एक दिन पहले तो गुरु महाराज को हम जल्दी, क्योंकि गुरु महाराज हमें बोले थे मैं मंगल आरती में दर्शन करने जाना चाहता हूँ.
So on the day before Radha Ashtami, Guru Maharaj said that he wants to go next day for Mangal Aarti Darshan on Radha Ashtami.
तो बेसिकली जब गुरु महाराज मंगल आरती में जाना चाहते थे तो मुझे गुरु महाराज को तैयार करना पड़ता था.
When he had to go for Mangal Aarti, it was my seva to prepare him to go.
तो गुरु महाराज के साथ हम राधाष्टमी के एक दिन पहले बहुत समय लेट हो गया था. तो हम रात को 2 बजे रेस्ट सोने के लिए गया था. तो मेरे को 4 बजे उठने के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो गया.
So the day before it became very late, it went till 2 in the morning, so it was difficult for me to wake up at 4.
तो देन गुरु महाराज इमीडिएटली मेरे को जो नाइट शिफ्ट कर रहा था उन डिवोटी को बोला ईश्वर गोविंद प्रभु को गोकुलपति को बुला.
So Guru Maharaj, the person who was doing the night shift, he called him and said, call Gokulapati.
तो गुरु महाराज मेरे साथ कभी कभी जोक करते थे. तो उस दिन गुस्सा होके भी जोक कर रहा था.
Guru Maharaj used to joke with me. That day he was angry and still joking with me.
तो बाद में मेरे को बोलते तुम्हारे पास अभी 7 मिनट है और 7 मिनट में मेरे को राधा माधव के सम्मुख में जाना है.
So he told me that you have 7 minutes and in 7 minutes I need to be in front of Radha Mata.
तो 7 मिनट जब मेरे पास था तो मैं उनको देख के हंस रहा था और सोच रहा था कैसे मैं लेके जाऊँ.
So I had 7 minutes and I was laughing, thinking how can I take him there in 7 minutes.
तो गुरु महाराज को हम उनके कृपा आशीर्वाद से 7 मिनट में स्नान करा के तैयार करा के हम पहुँच गए.
तो गुरु महाराज की कृपा से हम लोग 7 मिनट में उनको स्नान करा के उनके साथ पहुँच गए. I got so absorbed with what he was saying. So in 7 minutes somehow we made it in front of
तो नेक्स्ट डे राधाष्टमी के एक दिन के पहले का ये गुरु महाराज मंगल आरती जाने के बाद फिर उस दिन भी हम बहुत लेट को गुरु महाराज को सुलाया। तो गुरु महाराज सोते सोते रात 12 बज गया था। तो मैं जितना दिन गुरु महाराज के पास था तो मैं देखा है उनके जो विचार है, उनके शरीर पूरा मतलब दो डिवोटी अगर उनको मदद नहीं करेंगे तो वो बाह्य दृष्टि से वो चल नहीं सकता, कुछ नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन अंतर्दृष्टि से वो हमसे भी स्ट्रांग है।
So next day also it became very late, it went till midnight, and I realized that even though externally he is difficult to function, but internally he is stronger and more capable than us.
हम थक जाते थे, लेकिन उनके जो सिचुएशन था डॉक्टर के विचार के अनुसार उनको पहले थकना था, लेकिन हम थक जाते थे सारे, लेकिन वो कभी नहीं थकते थे।
So according to doctor's vision, it was supposed to be he was supposed to be tired, but instead we will be tired before him.
तो उनके पास कोई भी आते हैं किधर से भी, तो गुरु महाराज उनसे मिलते हैं, उनको दर्शन देते हैं।
So anybody came from anywhere, if they wanted to meet him, he would meet him.
तो मायापुर कम्युनिटी में कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम्स होता है, इवन दूसरे महाराज के डिसाइपल लोग जैसे चाइना से उमापद स्वामी महाराज के बहुत सारे डिसाइपल को वीसा प्रॉब्लम, इटालियन डिवोटी को वीसा प्रॉब्लम, जो भी है, तो दूसरे महाराज के डिसाइपल लोग भी आकर गुरु महाराज को बोलते हैं।
So anybody had any problem from Mayapur community or from China or from Italy with their visa problem, they would come to Maharaj for help.
तो कभी वो ना नहीं किया,
He never said no.
हमेशा मदद करते थे।
Always helped.
तो उस दिन उनको ऐसे ही कुछ मैटर के वजह से लेट हो गया था, तो उन्होंने सोते सोते रात करीबन 1 बज गया था।
So one of these days when it became very late, then it was almost 1 o'clock and he got to go to sleep.
तो हम वहाँ से रात को 2 बजे सोने के लिए नीचे हमारा जो सर्वेंट रूम था वहाँ पे मैं रेस्ट के लिए गया।
So 2 o'clock in the night, I went to the servants' quarter to take rest.
तो गुरु महाराज ठीक 2:30 बजे मेरे को बुलाया।
Guru Maharaj exactly 2:30 he called me.
तो मैं जब उनके पास गया तो उन्होंने मेरे हाथ, उनके जो लेफ्ट साइड वो काम करते हैं वो सचल का, तो उन्होंने लेफ्ट हैंड से मेरे को हाथ को पकड़ाया।
So his left side is functional, so with his left hand he held my hand.
तो मेरा हाथ पकड़ के बोल रहा था, जो गाथिया मालो थिरो माला देवो तो हाथ बोले।
So holding my left hand, he said what Prabhu just said.
ये राधा कृष्ण पाणम जो भजन है, उस भजन का एक पद है, गाथिया मालो थिरो माला देवो तो हाथ बोले। ये राधा रानी के लिए भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने बोले थे। तो गुरु महाराज मेरा हाथ पकड़ के उस टाइम पे ही जब पद बोला तो मैं समझ नहीं पाया था।
So this is actually the verse spoken by Krishna for Radharani.
Yes.
And then when Guru Maharaj held my hand, I could not understand.
So I asked Guru Maharaj, what I should be do?
I asked Guru Maharaj, what should I do?
तो गुरु महाराज ने बोला, मैं राधा रानी के लिए, वृंदावन राधा रानी के लिए मालती फूल के माला का गार्लैंड देना चाहता हूँ।
Guru Maharaj said, I want to give for Radharani in Vrindavan, I want to give a garland of Malati flowers.
लेकिन उस सीजन में मालती फूल अवेलेबल नहीं है।
That in that season, Malati flower is not available.
और हमारे मायापुर पंचतत्व के ऊपर जितने मालती फ्लावर है, तो वहाँ पे पूरा कम्युनिटी का नजर होता है, तो एक भी फ्लावर आता है तो गायब हो जाता है।
So there is a Malati flowers above the Panchatattva and our whole community is watching it. As soon as one flower comes, it's gone.
तो रात को 3 बजे में चैतन्य मठ जो जोगपीठ है महाप्रभु का जन्म स्थान, उस मठ में गया, मालती फूल पेड़ के पास, उधर भी फ्लावर नहीं था। उसके बाद राजापुर जगन्नाथ मंदिर में गया, वहाँ पे भी नहीं था। तो वहाँ से मैं सरना चंपा और रजनीगंधा ये सब फ्लावर लेके आया था।
So I went to the Gaudiya Mutt at 3 in the morning and I could not find any flowers. Then I went to Rajapur Jagannath, there also I could not find flowers. Then I brought the other flowers.
तो मैं गुरु महाराज के पास गया तो मंगल आरती के टाइम, तो गुरु महाराज ने बोला तुम उधर है मतलब मायापुर राजापुर बामनपुकुर के बाद दूसरा एक गांव आता है मुस्लिम लोगों का, वो उधर एक गांव है मतलब मुगल लोगों का एक फोर्ट है उधर, तो उधर मुस्लिम लोग का ज़्यादा आवास है। तो गुरु महाराज ने बोला उस घर में जाओ उधर मिलेंगे।
So 4 in the morning when I told him that I did not find, he said go in a community which is predominantly Muslim and that house, those people, they have these flowers.
तो मैं पूरा मायापुर घूमा, नहीं मिला, तो वो जगह पे गया, वो जगह का नाम है बल्लाल दिघी।
So that the name of that place is Balal Dighi, where the flowers are.
तो मैं पूरा मायापुर ढूंढा, नहीं मिला, तो गुरु महाराज बोला वो गांव में जाओ उसी व्यक्ति के घर, तो मैं जाके देखे उनके घर के पूरा ट्री मालती फूल से भरा हुआ है।
So there was no flower available in Mayapur, and when I went to the house of the person, he told me in Balal Dighi, the tree was full of those flowers in his house.
तो मैं वो जो मालिक है वो घर के, उनको बिना पूछ के ही मैं फ्लावर कर दिया।
So I did not ask the owner of the house, I just took all the flowers.
और आप लोग सोचिए वो 4 बजे कोई अगर ऐसे लेंगे और उनके घर के छात में आवाज होगा तो उनको कैसा फील होगा?
So think about it, 4 in the morning, if someone comes to their house and starts stealing flowers, how will they feel?
तो बाद में जब मैं नीचे उतरा, उनको बोला जयपताका महाराज बोला ये मुझे लेने के लिए और विशेष करके आपका नाम बोला, तो उन्होंने बोला अरे जयपताका महाराज हाँ ले लो ले लो ले लो।
So when he saw me, then I told him that Maharaj has sent me to get all these flowers, and when he found out that it was Maharaj who sent me, he said take as much as you want, whatever you want, just take everything.
क्योंकि उस मायापुर एरिया में जितने मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी है उनको कभी भी अगर कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम होता है तो वो हमारे गुरु महाराज के पास आते हैं, तो गुरु महाराज इस्कॉन परिवार की तरफ से जितना होता है उनको मदद करते हैं, इसलिए उन लोग गुरु महाराज को बहुत ही पसंद करते हैं।
So the Muslim community which lives there, if they have any problem, they come to Maharaj, and Maharaj always tries to help them. So that's why they like him very much.
तो मैं वो मालती फ्लावर लिया, उसके बाद रजनीगंधा फ्लावर लिया, स्वर्ण चंपा फ्लावर लिया, तो बहुत सारा फ्लावर इकट्ठा करके तो फिर मैं गुरु महाराज के पास लेके गया। तो जो राधा माधव के माला बनाने का सेवा करते हैं वो माता लोगों ने बहुत सुंदर माला बनाया, राधा श्याम सुंदर के लिए, गौरनीताई के लिए, कृष्णा बलराम के लिए।
So I got all those flowers and took it to the Matajis who made the garlands, and they made those beautiful garlands for Radha Shyam Sundar, Gaurnita and Krishna Balaram.
तो ठीक 7 बजे गुरु महाराज ने मेरे को बोला वादा बिल्डिंग में जाओ और वहाँ पे देखो एक प्रभु जी अभी जा रहा है वृंदावन, उनको बुला के लेके आओ।
So then 7 o'clock he told me there is one Prabhuji who is going to Vrindavan, just call him.
वो प्रभु जी His Holiness राधानाथ महाराज के डिसाइपल था।
वो Prabhuji was disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj.
इसमें चमत्कारी विषय यही है, वो प्रभु जी कभी भी गुरु महाराज से नहीं मिला था।
The mystical thing here is that Prabhuji never met Guru Maharaj.
तो जब मैं उनको जाके ऐसे बोला प्रभु जी आप वृंदावन जा रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने बोला हाँ मैं वृंदावन जा रहा हूँ, तो मैं बोला गुरु महाराज जी आपको बुला रहे हैं।
So when I went there, I asked him, are you going to Vrindavan? He said, yes, I am going. Then I told him, Guru Maharaj is calling you.
तो वो प्रभु जी इतना डर गया, मतलब पूछिए मत।
So he got so scared that he didn't know what to say.
क्योंकि वो प्रभु जी क्या हो गया, हम कुछ गलत कर दिया क्या?
So he was saying, what happened, what have I done, why is he calling me?
तो मैं उनको बोला नहीं प्रभु जी, मेरा गुरु महाराज मेरे को बोला आप वृंदावन जा रहे हैं, तो मैं आया तो इसीलिए आपको बोला। तो बोलते प्रभु जी हम तो कभी महाराज से मिला नहीं, महाराज कैसे हमें बुला रहे हैं?
So no, he said, I said, no, I've just come to call you because he told me that you are going to Vrindavan. Then Prabhuji said that I've never met Maharaj before.
तो फिर मैं बोला प्रभु चलिए देखिए गुरु महाराज, पता नहीं मुझे। तो प्रभु जी मेरे साथ ऊपर आए।
So I just told him that let's come to talk to him, see what it is, and then he came with me.
तो गुरु महाराज ने उनको ऐसे हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट करके बोल रहा था, मैं आपके लिए एक सेवा दे रहा हूँ, मैं तो मेरे ईश्वरी के साथ नहीं जा सकता है, तो आप मेरे तरफ से राधा रानी के लिए ये माला और राधा श्याम सुंदर, कृष्णा बलराम और गोनिताई के लिए लेके जाइए और पुजारी लोगों को दीजिए मेरे नाम बोल के।
So he said, folded hand, he said that I am physically not able to do, but I have a seva for you. If you can please take these garments and give it to the pujaris in Vrindavan.
तो ऐसा जब हम बहुत अच्छा से माला को पैकिंग करके दिया तो प्रभु जी लेके गया और राधा श्याम सुंदर के सेवा।
So as I packed it nicely, gave it to him, and they were finally offered to Radha Shyam Sundar.
तो ऐसा बहुत और भी स्टोरी है लेकिन समय नहीं है पूरा बोलने के लिए, तो हम यही बोलना चाहते हैं गुरु महाराज लोग, सारे गुरु महाराज, नॉट फॉर आवर गुरु महाराज, सारे गुरु महाराज जितने गुरु हैं हमारे परिवार वर्ग में वो सब एक है और उन सभी अंतर्जामी हैं। तो अपने शिष्य का भाव को, विचार को वो लोग बहुत अच्छा तरीके से समझते हैं।
So I don't have much time, but I want to say one thing, that all the spiritual masters in our society, they are one and they understand what is going on in the heart of the disciple.
तो गुरु महाराज लोगों को हम कभी भी सोचते हैं अरे नहीं गुरु महाराज थोड़ी देते हैं, चलो हम पापा काम कर लेते हैं, लेकिन एक ही नहीं।
So sometimes we think Guru Maharaj is not watching us and we can do something sinful, but actually that is not right.
लेकिन गुरु लोग सब देखते हैं।
A Guru can see everything.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.